Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. So today we are going to work with some paper clay. Now there's a million different paper clays. I just recently bought the Crayola air dry clay, and Emily ended up using it for beads and all. So I don't have that to do a video on right this second, as that was requested. But I will. I will get more and do a video just so you guys could know, because you could buy this in a smaller package at your local craft store. Use a coupon. You can get this on Blitsy, which I'll put my Blitsy link down below. They have polymer clay. They have air dry clay. They have um, every craft, item that you could possibly want. From paintbrushes to paint to watercolor to acrylic to pencils and pens and stamps and stencils and ink pads and I mean, die cuts and die cut machines and just everything you could possibly want. And it's up to 70% off. I love Blitsy. I'll put the link down there. Go check it out. And we're going to work with this particular paper clay today. Okay, so we're going to do the same kind of things that we did with the polymer clay. And if you're not familiar with what we do with the polymer clay, I will link them at the end of the video and down below so you can check them out. Polymer clay is a clay that you put into the oven to get hard. You bake it at a very low temperature. Paper clay dries in the air. Now, I was on the paper clay team for a year, and on the design team, I loved it. And, you know, the reason I had to get off of it was because of my hands. This is a little bit harder for me to work with, believe it or not, than polymer clay, but that's a whole other day. So here we are. We are going to make, I love using this for doll making, for making heads and hands and all. But let's see what else we can do with it, shall we? So I'm just going to open it. And you want to make sure you have a plastic bag so you could close it up in here when you're done. Water, spray water, wet paper towel, whatever. And I'm just going to take a little slicey poo. Okay. Yeah, we're going to pull it off, pull it off. Kind of, there's like mozzarella cheese there. Oh, what are you going to do to my nails? Oh, that's all under my nail. Okay. That might end up being a problemo. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of, for now, fold it down, set it there. And you can see it's very pliable. And you want to kind of keep your hands damp. My hands run very, very hot sometimes, and then they run very cold. So it depends on the day. But you can see it's squishy. And I'm just using my cat-free, hair-free mat. And here's my knife. And you want to always make sure you put the lid back on it. All right, so let's take a piece of this and we're going to see what we can do. Now, I also got asked if you can use your roly-poly to roll your stuff out. And of course you can. My roly-polies are filthy. They have more paint and glue, and, because I really love to use them. But you definitely can use them. You can see I'm rolling it this way and then that way. Going back and forth creates a little bit of a issue. It lifts it up. So if you kind of just go, look at that. Oh, my one cat loves the roly-poly and loves the heat gun. I don't know why. Stay away, little kitten. Okay, so you can see we flattened it out. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the alcohol ink. Now I don't know how this is going to do because this is wet. These are wet, but we're gonna see if we can color it. I want to try to color this. I probably should cut this smaller, huh? Very lightly because I don't want to cut my. Let's do it in 4. I don't want to cut my mat. All right, so I'm just going to pull these off. Here we go, yo, here we go. I'm loving the comments. I'm loving the questions. I'm loving the stuff that you guys are asking. Now you can see this is kind of sticky to this mat because obviously it's wet. It's like you know, wet paper, obviously. All right, so I'm just going to drop some of this in here. Maybe I'll drop a little yellow. Let's see what happens. Now, obviously, this is not going to dry translucent, right? Like you would with the clay that we're using, a translucent clay. Maybe I should move you in closer so you can see. What do you think about that? Okay. So that's in there. And I don't want it to necessarily dry because I want it to be, So I'm going to fold it. And then I'm going to fold it on top. So those yellows kind of go together. And let's mix and see what we get. I'm just going to kind of roll it. Okay. All right. Can you see? I really got to move my stuff over more. Look at that. Can you see? I'm going to leave that just like that. I'm not even going to change it. I'm going to kind of push it into some sort of shape. And we can wire wrap these. There's no rules of what you want to do. Shout out to Kathy Spires. If you are in All Things Creative in our group, you will see that she has been doing her polymer clay druzy rings and whatnot. Beautiful. So shout out to you, girl. And all the rest of the delicious people in the group who share their artwork. It is absolutely wonderful to watch and see what they do. Oh, you guys are so inspiring. Okay, so you can see I got that. So I'm going to lift this up and just kind of set it. I'll set it on this plastic for now, just so it's right there. And then I'll bring it back to show you. And let's try some acrylic paint. What color? Oh, no, you know what? Let's do some Pearlex. Let's do some, do we want to do copper, though? That's the question. Let's do, whoops. Don't want to knock that off. Silver, no. What are we gonna do? Oh, look at that, yeah, boy. Let's do perfect pearls, and I think we got a theme going here, boys and girls. Okay, so I'm just gonna take the back of a pencil, just like that, and kind of sprinkle it. Now, okay, so you can see, I'm gonna kind of just roll that a little bit, put this on there. I want a little spritz of water. Now let's roll it. I'm going to roll it like a cannoli. And then push. And then turn it over. And then squish it. Now, if you get these too wet, one of the things I did on the design team was I don't even know if I even still have that video on. But, and you can always spray your hands to keep everything kind of wet. That's what she said. I turned this into modeling paste. Maybe I'll do a video on that. Okay, so, okay. You're getting the same effect. So if you don't have alcohol ink, I know nobody gonna cry. Okay, so you see? All right, I'll get better shots of this when I'm done here. All right, I just want to kind of get it in a shape. And honestly, if you can't get things into a shape, right, a round shape or whatever, it doesn't matter because, when it looks handmade, or it looks like, it's like a crystal or something to that effect that you might have found, or that it's natural material, none of it's even anyway. Spray this down a little bit, put that there, put that there. I just want that to soak up some water. All right, I'll turn this over. And what are we gonna do? Let's do yellow. Let's make like a yellow piece. Oh, Kelly, what did you do? Oh, this is why I have no brains. I'm just going to kind of squish it around and then wipe it off, unfortunately. Poop. All right. I don't know my own strength sometimes. All right, now I'm just gonna smush it. Maybe I probably do need to put more paper clay in there. Well, this is a bit messy. I mean, hey, you know, we're playing. So I'm gonna kind of push it out, and then I'm gonna push it real good. And then as you can see, I'm kind of folding it like dough. I flatten it out with my hands, and then I lift it up, and then I do this. And then I lift it up and do this, and I lift it up and do that. And we have a nice yellow shade, okay? Okay. Now I'm gonna do that. Now I'm gonna wipe this off because I don't want all that extra, but you know, sometimes I like to be extra, other times I don't. Okay, so now you can see I'm gonna smash it out, turn it over, smash it out. Okay, now let's try a little alcohol ink on it. Let's do a little, I wonder if we did yellow, orange, we'll do purple. What I'm going to do is just kind of just stripe it a little. Don't exactly know what this is going to do. It soaks in. Going to roll it. Now, Kathy also asked, which I'll answer on this one, we'll try it, if we could dry this with a heat gun. Well, we shall try. All right, so the yellow, we don't have any purple coming through yet, so I'm just going to keep turning it and turning it to bring that purple to the surface. Okay. It's coming. It's a-coming. So, you know, what I'm doing here is I just want to show you guys different ways to use different things. So, you know, you could do this with polymer. We've been playing with polymer clay and getting different kinds of looks and that kind of thing. And now we're doing it with paper clay. Now, I know you guys want me to do a paper clay home version, You guys love when I do at-home things. So, yeah, I will definitely, I'm going to spread this a little thinner and then twist it again. But yeah, definitely I will make our own paper clay. But like I said, you can definitely go and use a coupon and get this at your local craft store, or you can even get the Crayola, which is usually 40% off like at Michael's. But we will make. Okay, so let me show you. Now you're better off to use, which I'll show you. I mean, we're really not getting any purple coming. It's like a shade, but not really, you know, anything really good. So maybe we need some perfect pearls in it. Well, let's see. Moving it around. Let's see if this will come to the surface. Wiping it off. And this has a little iridescence to it. I can sit and play with so many different mediums, you know, to see how we go. Now, you have to understand, this is going to be drying it up a little bit. But that's what we have so far. Let's go for it. Let's do it outside this time. Okay. Let's do that. And then push it. Turn it this way. Okay. I mean, that's all right. I'm not going to hate on it. Let's see if my... All right. I'm not going to hate on it. We'll see what it's like when it's dry. Now, remember, you can paint these when these are dry. as well, right? Okay, so we have that. We have this one. We have this one. They're already starting to kind of dry. And you can lay them on, which I've done before. You want a flat paper towel just for a few minutes to kind of take up some of that extra wetness, you know. So I'm just going to kind of push them so they're a little more even. Nothing too fancy. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of just a chunk and what was the other thing that somebody asked me? Gosh darn it. I can't even remember right now, but I'll have to figure it out. We did alcohol ink, we did paint, we did the perfect pearls. Maybe that was it. Maybe that was it. But I'm going to do just a plain one here. And I turn it over just so you kind of get the same, and these can be sanded as well. So you kind of get the same other side, but okay. So I'm going to stick this back in here because it's getting a little dry and I don't want this to dry. And I'm also going to move this out of the way. So I do have to seal this up. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. Okay, we'll do it right now. Let me just find a place for this. I was gonna do the foil. That's what I was gonna do on this. Okay, so what I wanted to do is I'm gonna squirt this with water. I'm gonna take a ink pad. Now, obviously this ink pad is, you know, a little, why is my camera moving? My camera's like moving. It's like going everywhere but where I'm at. So I'm gonna set this in here and press it down and then pull this off. So you see how you get that texture? And then I want to try putting some of this, just kind of lightly tap it over top, around. Did nothing. Do I have the wrong side maybe touching it? Does Kelly have the wrong side? Yep. What did I do? Why do I do things like this? Why do you guys even watch me? I swear my brain today. Come on, come on. No, it's not even going to work with me today. So I'm going to have to pull it off with my fingers and do it. And I'm just going to kind of lay it. And lay it. Okay, that's all I'm doing with you. I'm done. I'm done. All right, I'm going to pull some off. What I'm going to do is get a brush. And I want like a fluffy, like a round brush. Just like this, dry. And I'm going to kind of rub it in. Well, now I got to get more so I can do the whole thing now. Yeah. Done did it now, Cal. You done did it now. Oh. I know. I'm not on camera for this part. Really, I am here doing it. I'm just taking my hand and pulling some off there. Trying to move it around and just like patting it down so I get the majority of this. Yeah. And I'm just experimenting. I'm not doing anything. This is if anybody cares if you can foil. Okay, let me know if you guys would want me to send you a hunk of the paper clay. Okay, so then we got that, which looks good. That's going to be good enough for now. Good enough for now. I can always kind of go in and push it to make it a little smaller. Plus, it'll shrink a little bit. I remember when I first started using this. Get out of here. Get. When I first started using this, I was like, oh, and then it would start shrinking as it dried. Okay, so just kind of rubbing it around. And dusting it. Okay. So now I'm going to take my heat gun and I'm going to go for it. And I'm just going to, hold this here and see if we can, how dry we can get it. Now, normally what you could do is just leave it lay here overnight. Maybe, if you do this in the morning, halfway through the day or when you go to bed, come and turn it over because the bottom part will still, the underneath part will still be a little wet. But now they do say you can put these in the oven at a low temperature, like at 200, and put it in for like 10 minutes and then turn it, depending on your oven. It might be 5 minutes with your oven. I don't know. But I'm just moving this. You don't want to leave this stuck. If you leave this on it, it's going to cook it and burn it. And then you don't want that. It'll look like a burnt cookie. So this could help speed it up because the top will then become a little dry. And then you can turn it over and do the other side. That'll help it a bit. You see I'm constantly moving it, and I'm using my non-stick heat pad. You can also use your non-stick, underneath here. And when you're doing this, keep in mind the middle is going to be the thickest usually, and the outsides will get crispy quicker. So try to keep that in mind. See, I held that too close. It got a little yellow. But at the end of the day, you can, turn it over and use the other side. So I'm going to leave that sit for a second and then just to cool down. Turn this over. You can see this is going to be still wet. Still wet. Still wet. Still wet. And the other side's still, it's hard to the touch, which is great, but it's still, you're going to have to leave these dry. I think if we sat here, unless you have a half hour to sit here and do this, which maybe you do. Maybe this is something you find relaxing or, that kind of thing. And if you do, more power to you. Now you can tell it's starting to dry because it's blowing away. And because paper clay dries so light. Now look, this is just a demo of seeing what we can do to paper clay. This is not sculpting. This isn't doing anything. I'm not trying to win a sculpting prize. I just wanted to see if we put alcohol ink or paint or perfect pearls or mica, whatever you call it, and gold leaf in them, what would happen? And you can see, watch, that one's blowing. blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing on my desk. Okay. See that one? That one's like getting up. He's like, oh, I'm going soon. I'm gonna go soon. Right. I think you're picking up what I'm putting down. Now you can, even the polymer clay ones or these ones, you can use folk art spray. You can use, um, obviously they SKYPE and all of them. They all sell their own clear coat. You can use, geez, what else have I used on them? I've used Mod Podge. You know, if you want to coat them and give them a good coat of something. But if you want to do like a gloss or that kind of thing, you can definitely buy SKYPE's. I don't think I have any here. Let me see. Do I? Let's see. No, that's not it. No, I must not have any here. It must be in my other container, but they do come, like I said, SKYPE has a clear coat that you can definitely use. So now these are still, they're still a little pliable, but you can definitely pick them up. They're not gonna stick, you know what I mean? They're doing good. Same with these, but they're gonna have to dry overnight here. I don't have the patience to sit, so that's what I'm gonna do. Now this one I might push in one more time with this. See what, if anything will happen. Yeah. And then I'm going to dust off some more. See how it got that texture in there now? And I just want to get some of that off of there, that gold. Not all of it, because I love it, but I want it kind of distressed. Maybe I should have painted it first. Maybe I should have made the clay, added some black or a different color, but you know me, I do the hard way. But can you see how pretty that looks though? So these will dry. And then in my next video, I'll show you everything baked and dry and all that kind of stuff. And, like I said, let me know if anybody be interested in a little piece to play with and try. And maybe I will, I don't know, we'll see what we'll do the next time. I love doing this stuff. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I just love you guys. And I'm so grateful that you guys come and watch me. It makes me so happy. So as always, please be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. Remember progress, not perfection. And just be kind to yourself as well. Yeah, be kind to yourself. And that's about it. Please share me everywhere. If you've not already and you would like to be subscribed, click that button down below and click the bell next to it so you can be notified when I upload. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.